Hi, this is Justin Kantor of Blog Critics and Blog Talk Radio. Welcome to another edition of Rhythmic Talk. My guest today is an internationally renowned DJ, songwriter, producer, and remixer who's worked with the likes of deadmau5, Lady Gaga, Britney Spears, and Tiesto. I'm talking about Kaskade. Let's start with your beginnings. Growing up in Chicago, when did you first start listening to music, and what types were you exposed to?
As a kid, my parents had the typical stuff going on in the home, like Bee Gees, like the Carpenters, and just your average stuff. And then I got exposed to what my brothers were listening to, a lot of like classic rock, Led Zeppelin, you know. Mm-hmm. And then it was about mid-'80s, 84, 85, when kind of the whole electro, techno, pop, house music thing started happening in Chicago for me.
Mm-hmm. Were there any particular acts that you remember as having a special impact on you?
Kraftwerk was a huge thing.
Mm-hmm.
And also Wax Trax Records is out of Chicago, so I was getting a lot of like Ministry and Revolting Cocks and some of this early industrial stuff, Skinny Puppy, a lot of those acts. And then I moved into a lot of like the new wave stuff, The Cure, Smiths, Echo and the Bunnymen, Depeche Mode, New Order, was really into that stuff. And kind of while that was going on, I was really getting into house music. Like as I was getting into the new wave, the whole house thing started happening. That's when it started getting radio exposure in Chicago. It was like when it went pretty wide. They had like mixed shows on at night and during the lunch hours. So that's when I really got into that stuff, mid-'80s.
Were there any specific of those early house records or producers or remixers that stick out in your mind as like really important from that time period?
Yeah, the Hot Mix 5. They were 5 DJs on Chicago WBMX that had a radio station. Bad Boy Bill, Julian Jumpin' Perez, all those guys were breaking the new records. Early producers, Marshall Jefferson, Future, a lot of these early house producers were just... Fast Eddie was another guy.
Oh, yeah.
This is back 20 years ago now.
I know, yeah. I mean, I know some of the records. Like, I'm familiar, I guess, with, I don't know if it'd be exactly the same, but like Frankie Knuckles or...
Yeah, Frankie Knuckles, sure, dude.
Or Little Townsend.
Amazing, yeah.
Well, and in addition to the mixing and producing aspect, in terms of your own career, one thing that's kind of been a standout for you is you've also been really actively involved in the songwriting aspect. And I was just curious, is there a difference in how you approach something in the studio when you've written the song versus, say, when you're remixing, for someone like Lady Gaga or Britney Spears or someone else that had a song written already?
Yeah, it's a different approach because when people hire me for a remix, I think they're looking for. I don't get to be quite as creative.
Okay.
but that opens some other creative doors. Like, how can I be creative inside this space? Like, okay, this needs to work in a nightclub. Like, how am I going to make this song translate?
Right.
What would want to make me play this song at 1 a.m. in New York? So. I mean, you got to get creative that way, which is cool. I mean, it's a fun challenge, and I really enjoy doing it.
Mm-hmm. So you got to calculate a little more, like what particular audience you might be going after or whatnot.
Well, I think most of these people who hire me for the remix, they just want to make sure that it works in a nightclub. Whereas when I'm writing my own album, it's like I don't have to worry so much about 2 a.m.
Okay. Well, so speaking of that, how did you approach the new album, Dynasty? Did you have a theme in mind before you started, or did it kind of come together piece by piece as you did the various songs, or how did that all work out?
It came together piece by piece as I was putting stuff together. I was writing the songs, but I think a key moment was when I was last June. I played the Electronic Daisy Carnival, EDC, as a lot of kids call it. And you can, if you YouTube that one, you'll see it's on my channel.
Okay.
There's some footage of, I think it was around 90,000 people in a sold-out downtown Los Angeles.
Oh, wow.
The Olympic Coliseum, and I'm standing in the sea of people, and I'm just like, look what we've created. Because, I mean, this music has no radio support, no video support, no MTV, no Clear Channel, nothing like this. And I'm sitting in front of a coliseum of people. I'm like, I'm not sure that U2 could put this many people in here right now, or Coldplay. And here we are with 5 of my like guys that I've toured around the world with or crossed paths with that do a similar thing as me. And here we are, man, standing in front of these people. This is all like by word of mouth, flyers, websites, and
who were the other guys that were with you there that you're speaking of? The other
was what Groove Armada played that night with me, and Benny Benassi and David Guetta played that night.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
And I mean, it's an all-star lineup for sure, but it's like none of us, I mean, dude, we're all on indie labels. Well, outside of David Guetta, he's on a major label, but we're all on very indie labels that have marketing budgets that are close to what your grocery bill are at the end of the month. So to make this happen, that's kind of why I was standing there. I'm like, this is a dynasty, man. Look what we've created. Look at this thing is rising up from the underground. It was really an inspiring moment to stand here in my home state, you know, in LA, and like just see this thing. And it kind of inspired that song.
Okay, cool.
So the seed for that song. So
now some of your early releases on Ohm Records, like Gonna Make It and What I Say, had a definite underground house sound with the soulful male vocalist. Like I think it was Rob Wanamaker on a couple of those. And over the last few years, your sound has perhaps been maybe more defined a little bit by like an internationally flavored style with different elements of Euro in there, or maybe some pop thrown in the mix. Would you say that that's like a natural progression, or is it a conscious shift in style for you?